Hello coaches, welcome back to another Modern Soccer Coach interview. Today we are joined by Caique Andrade to talk about life at Flamengo, one of the biggest clubs in the world. He's going to talk about the development process there and also how analysis plays its part, what they're looking for in players, how they develop players, what that environment looks like. If you enjoy it, please give it a like and please make sure you subscribe. If you're looking for more coaching content, please check out all the new information over at modernsoccercoach.com. Really appreciate the support. Here is Caique. Enjoy. Caique, thank you so much for joining me today on the Modern Soccer Coach podcast.
Hey, Gary. I'm really excited to be here.
You're working at a big club right now, and obviously Brazilian football, which we're going to get into, is everyone's so fascinated by it. How have you got to that role? How would you describe your climb to this position?
Yeah, sure. In my life, I spent a lot of time, a lot of years playing football, playing soccer, and also futsal until when I was 18. I trained at the pros in a third division club in Brazil. And because of these injuries, I left football and I went to the university. I cursed 2 engineers, environment engineering and product engineering, but only for a few months. And then I told my dad, I need to get back to football. I'm going to the university to start my bachelor's in physical education in my hometown. I was a coach, and then I got my degree at 2017, and between this period, 2014 and 2017, I worked with badminton at Rio Olympic Games. I was a scout from Omega. I also have a tattoo right here. And when the people see my tattoo, they ask, wow, did you play at Olympic Games? No, I said, no, I worked there. I was a scout. I'm also a badminton teacher, football, badminton, different sports. And during the university, I did my first course at team analysis, but I never worked with this before. And I got my degree in 2017. And 2018, I went to my post-graduation in soccer at Federal University of Viçosa in Brazil. Is a reference with Professor Israel Teodo. And then in 2019, I went to Hong Kong as technical director at Ronaldo R9 Academy. Ronaldo, the famous striker.
The legend.
Famous Brazilian striker. He has international franchises of football academies. So I went to Hong Kong to be the technical director and also teach kids and youngs between 4 and 14 years old all over Hong Kong. So the best experience in my life until now. And then I moved back to Brazil and trying to start my master's degree with individual analysis that I never worked before. And then that's where I really started to work with individual analysis, match analysis, training analysis, and then team analysis completely. And then I was almost finishing my master's when Flamengo's called me. They said, oh, we have a job here as team analyst in U15s. So if you want to participate of our interview to join the club, you're invited. So I did there. On December 26th, I received they invited me to participate. And 1 week later, I was joining the club. Like a hurricane, I didn't expect that, but changed my life, and I'm really happy at Flamengo now.
Fantastic. Wow, what a journey. Brazil has a reputation for so many years of producing attacking talent, exciting attacking talent. Even if as the game's changed and it's become more structured and more organized, maybe more methodical, Brazil still develops these attacking players. What are some things that you think that are development keys in the clubs at youth level that's creating this?
Sure, great question. I'm also studying in my master, so
oh wow,
I love it to criticize it, because in Brazil it's really common that youth coaches treats our kids like mean adults, like robots. So we need to produce more players with autonomy to solve the problems, solve the situations. But sometimes the most of part of it, that's not going to happen because of it. Kids need to play, kids need to have fun, and the most important thing is we need to have clear in our mind that we need to develop them respecting their ages and their phase of this development. But in few situations, this is not happening because results. We need to win. In most part of the clubs, the coach needs to win to keep their jobs. So sometimes if we develop, maybe we don't win. But if we win championships, we can have some time and tell that we develop our kids. But the most part of it is kids when play street football with no adults saying that what they need to do. They are freely to create, they are freely to play, to solve their problems. That's amazing. That's what they need to do, what they need to play around until they have 10 years old, 11 years old. And then when they are 12, 13, they can have some tactical principles, some tactical trainments. I believe that that's the golden age of development. Until 11, they need to be freely to create, to solve their problems. So this is our job. We need to study and understand that, because we think that we are helping them, but we are not helping them.
In Brazil, it doesn't feel as if it feels as if that they're allowed to enjoy the game because they're playing on the streets. Whereas over here, I don't know if they develop a love of the game because it's organized from their first experience.
Right. Yeah, sure. I can say that they don't love the game. When it's organized, they can have a burnout with 11 years old because of father's pressure, because of coach's pressure, and because they don't have fun. They don't live their journey as a child, as a children. So I have some athletes in the past that his father is so how can I say that, he was crazy about my child, my son needs to be a professional with 11 years old. So the kid just asked him to stop that. I don't want this anymore. It's a lot of pressure. I don't want to play football anymore. So it's complicated, and we need to also educate the parents, because not the coach is the responsible, also the parents.
Flamengo, I remember Flamengo, Romario, I think it was 1995, Romario. I mean, what a history, what a club. What are some things that a young player, characteristics that they must have to make it at the club?
To play at Flamengo, our athletes has to be a special characters. Never give up. If we are losing the game, we can't give up because we need to win the duels. We need to have in position to have our challenge to smash our opponent. We have to be our crowd wants this of our Flamengo player. He needs to be positive. He needs to win the challenge, the duels. And if we lose the game, but we don't give up, we keep running all the time, we keep playing all the time, the crowd will support us. But if you win the game and we don't run all the time, we don't control the possession all the game, the crowd will not like it. So never give up, never stop running, and keep playing all the time, keep controlling the possession. And that's our special characteristics.
Is there a lot of pressure with that? Like that's for a 15, 16-year-old to walk into that environment, to have that expectation. How do you help that player deal with pressure?
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure, not only on 15, 16, and 17, also at 7, 8, 9 years old. We need to keep training then. We have our psychology, also our coaches, all the staff. We always talk to them that we need to keep running. We need to create an environment that Flamengos can scare our opponent. We need to walk, we need to run like a beast. So that's how we speak to them, we talk to them, we create this environment. Never stop running. If you don't give up all the time, if you win the challenges, if you win the duels, our rivals will be scared and our crowd will support you. You need to be ready to play at the pros. And we need to create this environment, and that's what we do now at the club. We just support them and tell them what they need to do to be at the pro.
When does video analysis and tactics, you mentioned it around 13, 14, 15, when do you start looking at the video with them?
Yeah, today at Flamengos, we start at 13th. We have a team analyst at starting 14th, but sometimes it starts earlier than that. Last year, at 11 years old, some matches, the coaches use the team analysis, the opponent analysis to try to win the championship, because we're the finals that time.
Yeah, what does that look like? Is that a scouting report? Is that feedback? Is that individual stuff? Or what does it look like at that age group, with the youngest ones?
The youngest, they show some videos, some standards of their opponents, how opponents could play against them on next match. At U15s, 16s, 17s, and U20s, we do individual analysis, and we go with the athlete to some room, to some place, and then we show on computer or on TV that what they need to improve, which skills they need to improve. We also report to staff our post-match with some shoots, where these shoots happened, from our team and our opponent. Some duels, the duels that we have won and we have lost, and where we lost and where we won these duels. And we also give to our staff the highlights of the match, including what we need to improve in our model of play and what we achieve in that match, especially about what we trained last week, our objectives, if we achieve that or not.
That's very interesting. The piece about the duels is very interesting because that's a very Irish thing to do, is to look at battles, individual battles. And people think that Brazil are more worried about flair and skill and creativity, but it really matters, right? The battle, the physicality matters.
Yeah, it really matters, because in Flamengo we have a great structure with all the technologies to develop our kids. So our kids more strong than other. So even as our scout department, they look for strong kids, and then because we can develop their techniques and their tactical behaviors. So if they are strong, we can develop them. So that's what I said before. Flamengo, we need to win the battles. So they need to be strong. But until 14, when they achieve 15 years old, equals. So they need to be more creative, have better tactical behaviors, better knowledge of the game. And then it's our job. It's not only strong and strengthness, just about tactical behavior.
When you're defining the 1v1 battles, I'm fascinated by this. Is that aerial 50-50s? Is that a 1v1? Is that a challenge in midfield? Or is that everything? Or is it something specific?
Includes battle duel. We do not consider us 1v1 as a battle, because we consider everything that you said, 1v1, challenge on midfielder, on the winger against the left backs, the striker against the center backs, all the area, all the battles, but we not include this air duels, air battles. We just believe that they need to have the behavior to, when they jump, they need to win. Just their mentality. We had a lot of troubles with the set pieces last year. We lost some important championships because we suffered some goals of set pieces. So because of their behaviors, we showed them how they need to defend, where they need to be there to close the space, and they just turned it off during the game, and then we suffered goals and we lost championships in set pieces because of these duels. So I believe that is their mentality. They need to jump and be strong to beat their opponent.
And you're looking there at intensity. You mentioned their forward versus two defenders. Even that's got to be done a certain way.
Yeah, they need to be intensity. They need to be strong to smash them. Even if they are more strong than him, he needs to put all the speed, all their power to try to beat them.
Fascinating. In terms of you mentioned one of the analysts working at the younger age group. How many people do you have working with you? How many analysts in the academy in the first team?
Great. Working with me, no one.
Really?
Yeah, we have 4 analysts, 4 team analysts, one for the U13s and U14s. Now, one for U15s and U16s. Me working alone at U17s, and we have another one working alone to U20s. So we have 4 departments, but we help each other when we really need, but normally we just ourselves in our teams.
Last question about the battles. You're working with Felipe Luis, like that. That's got to be something he's pretty passionate about, right?
Yeah, he's our head coach now. He started a few weeks ago, so they are trying to teach our athletes that how to become a Flamengo's pro player, the behaviors, how they need to improve, how they need to win the battles, how they need to mark, to defend their positioning, how they need to be with their body to run, to win the battle. So it's an amazing experience that our athletes are learning a lot about that, about how to defend, how the tactical behavior is important to win the battles. So we have a great season coming to us to learn, not only the athletes, but also our staff. We are learning a lot with him about that.
Awesome. Brilliant. I have to ask you about positionalism and relationism. Everyone around the world is talking about it, and a lot of coaches are fascinated. And I sent you Alex Clapham, and we've had Jamie Hamilton. We've had some great minds. What does it feel like when you see that up close?
Yeah, I prefer the positionism.
Right.
Yeah, but it's my choice. But I don't disrespect that. Then who loves the rationalism game? Because now we are working with positionism, because Felipe came with Ivan, his assistant coach. He's a Spanish assistant coach that were formed at Barcelona Academy. So we are trying to introduce the positionism at Flamengo's U17, and it's working so good in a few weeks. I prefer because the positionism, because if we have the ball, we control the game. If we don't have the ball, like reaction is, we can't control. We just need to defend. If we fail in 1 second, we can lose the game. Positioners also do that, but the chances is less, because I prefer control the game, create the spaces, create opportunities. I believe that is better, is my how I prefer to play. But reaction is also good, because discipline. We can create discipline. We can develop discipline on players, because principle is the collective behavior. Sometimes in positionism game, the ego talks higher than all, because a player with the ball, especially youngs, he needs to show that he's a great player. He wants to score goals, and sometimes he don't pass the ball, and sometimes the collective behavior maybe crash. So the difference between the line is how to introduce this even positionist or reactionist, how to introduce the collective behavior in the kids, the youths, and don't let the ego say higher than the collective behavior, the collective comportments.
Have you seen it trickle down to like the Fluminense style? Have you seen that come down to younger levels to where there's more freedom in how they play, or is it not there yet?
Not yet. Even when we played against Fluminense at youths, they don't play like the pros. They try, they overload some side of the game, but when they close the spaces, they don't play anymore. They have some special mode of play, but with Fernando Diniz at the pros, they don't reproduce that on the youths. They try to overload some side, but we can close the space, we mark them so they don't play.
Yeah. Do you think that it will be recreated at the youth level in the near future, or do you think it's too difficult?
I believe in Brazil it's too difficult because we need to win. Sometimes we don't have time to train our kids. Their journey, their seasons, sometimes. Last year we had almost 70 games on U14s. So it's more than all the biggest clubs in Europe. And the staff don't have the time to train the kids, to develop the kids.
70 games?
70 games. A lot of championships around the world, even in Rio, in Brazil, and around the world. Almost 70 games. So sometimes the staff does not have time to train, to develop. So to create a new culture, maybe we don't have time. I wish, but I don't see near future.
Yeah. Your schedule with 50 or 70 odd games when you're working with a couple of teams and overseeing, I mean, when do you code the game? So if a game was a Saturday night, how does your weekend work and how does your time work?
Yeah, sure. I had my first game at night a few weeks ago at São Paulo Youth Cup with the U20s. And let me tell you how it works. On the games day, we have two meetings with the players. The first one is in the morning, that when we show them the set pieces, how we'll execute our set pieces, and how we will defend the opponent's set pieces. And then we left them with the afternoon to sleep, and I keep working, producing more videos, more material to give to staff, and also individual, to some athletes, to our defending line, to our attacking line. And a few hours before the match, we have another meeting to show our act plan, how we will play, to try to beat our opponent. So we have two meetings in the games day, and then we go, after the second one, we go to the stadium to play.
Is that with the U17 team, or is that with the senior team?
This one is with the U20s, but now I'm with the U17s. But this year we will play the national championship, that we will have games night at 9:30 p.m. Usually, but we don't know how to I can't tell you how it works because Felipe said he does not want to meet these meetings with act plan. We can do this during the week, not at the games day, not the night before the game. I believe that he didn't like it when he was a football player, when the staffs did that with him, with his colleagues. So he wants to change, and we'll try. We'll see what is best for our athletes.
We had Alex Clapham talked about how intense the days were when he was at Vasco. Players were training every day. We were always at the club. Is Flamengo similar in terms of every single day players are in, or is it more balanced?
Yeah, it's similar. We train around 6 days per week, and we have 1 day off. Sometimes we do not have day offs because if we have an English week with two matches in a week, on Wednesday and on Saturday, we don't have time to rest. We need to work. We need to recover our athletes at the club, and sometimes we keep working for 2 weeks as long with no day offs.
Okay,
it's insane.
That can be difficult. You studied masters in exercise and sports science. Do you work with physical data as well, or is it just the tactical stuff?
Yeah, sure. On our laboratory at Rio de Janeiro State University, when I record all the sessions in video, we didn't have the physical data because we did not have any GPS yet. We didn't buy at that time, and then I didn't use it, but I'm planning to use and in my PhD, and I'm planning to start next year. I don't know where, but we will be studying game analysis, a little bit different of my master's. In my master's, I studied how to develop creativity in youth players since they are 10 years old until 20 years old. So how to develop, how the coaches needs to behavior, the feedbacks, all the stuff, all the methodologies of trainments. But I didn't use it because we didn't have any equipments, any technologies to use that time.
It sounds like the physical side would link to your philosophy quite closely with intensity and obviously the volume of games as well. Do people not worry about training loads and burnout if they're playing all that time and working at such a high intensity?
All the time. Our physiologist, during all the session, he was crazy. Oh, we need to stop. Oh, the density is so high. We need to stop. But we control everything. Now, every athlete has a GPS. We can control in live that. Now our physiologist use his iPad to control everything, to say, oh, this player achieved our goal for today in high speed, high distance, or total distance, accelerations. So we control everything, but sometimes we need to go up, to go high, and we just forgot our physical data from that day, but because we need to improve them, we need to push a little bit more in that session.
Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. you're doing your study on creativity. Big problem in America. A lot of coaches are challenged with. I mean, we look at Brazil and we think, if we had the creativity of that. But it's a big problem in America, and a lot of coaches think that the problem is that people are too worried about results. People are too worried about who wins the game. Do you think you can have creativity and competitive people working alongside? Does that exist?
Yeah, depends on age. Early childs, I don't believe it. They can compete, but the goal, the aim, can't be just win. They need to be freely. Okay, they can compete, but they are freely. We don't have any adults. We don't have any coaches. They just play one team against another with no feedbacks, with no people interviewing. So yeah, can be, but they need to be freely. If they're the early child until 11, they play one against each other and competing in a championship, but if they're not freely, they have tactical behaviors, they have some act plan for the games with the coaches saying what they need to do all the time. I don't believe it. But if we don't have it, if they're freely to create, to adapt the solutions and solve the problems, I believe. That's what science says.
Yeah.
And I believe it.
70 games. I can't get over that number for a year. But then we're talking about the physical side as well, and intensity and strength training. Brazilian players, even you're saying there that you're identifying and scouting strong players. The Brazilian players have always been physical, like Ronaldinho, even skillful, but so strong. Is there weights? You know, in the US, there's a lot of weights training.
Yeah.
Do you guys do that as well?
Yeah, we do. They start around 12, but they don't have weights. They just need to use their body, like functional activities, using their body weights, and then we start to improve their training loads around 13, 14, using weights. At Flamengos, we spend every day. The athletes goes to the gym to do their warm up every day. It's a culture of Flamengo. If we have a session on Monday, before the session at the pitch, they go to the gym to warm up, and then they do it all the sessions in all ages, starting with 12 or 13. I don't remember certainly, but it's on their age.
Brilliant. All right, last couple for you. We talk a lot about what makes a great player, but see, in Brazil, what makes a great coach?
Whoa, this is a great question. In Brazil, we have a discussion. If the football players, the ex-football players, they defend that to be a great coach, they just need to play football. And we have the academic side that says that we need to respect the science. And if you have the science in your side, you can be a great coach. But I believe that you have the theory with the science and you have the practice as an ex-football player. If you train at youth ages, it can complementary. I believe that both sides can improve their skills to be a great coach. So you need to know about the science, but you need to know how to apply that science in practice, in training. So I believe we need to have both.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Who's the greatest Brazilian coach of all time?
Of all time, Tele Santana.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That was Sao Paulo, right? In Brazil?
Sao Paulo.
Yeah.
The championship, the world championship twice. All the people say that is Tele Santana is our best coach of all times.
Someone asked me this question today, and it kind of threw me off. Like, what makes a great analyst?
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great.
What do you think?
When I teach our students at university, when I teach them about team analysis, I say that a great team analyst needs to know about all the areas around the player. We need to know about tactical knowledge. We need to know about technique of players, specific technique. We need to know about physiology. We need to know about the physical components, psychology, and all the technologies, GPS, biomechanics, kinesiology, and we need to link all the steps to understand better how is our individual and how is our collective behavior during the sessions, and during the matches, and during the post matches. So that's we need to know about. We need to know about everything, but respecting all the sides, and especially to a bonus skill. The great analyst needs to be a great coach, also a great coach. It's really common that we always listen that, oh, look, the team analysts, the guys who cut the videos, who edit the videos, but we are not only the guy that who cuts and edit the videos. We are also an assistant coach. We are a coach. We are there to improve our athletes, so we need to how to train our athletes also. So in my career, I never was a team analyst before. I was a head coach, a physical trainer, and then I became analyst. So it all linked now. It's better for me because I understand of all areas around the athlete, around the club. So it helps me a lot. So to be a great analyst, you need to know about all the areas, all the components, and know how to link that to understand the game.
I love that definition. I love that because, again, when people are now looking to be analysts, and there's a lot of people looking to be analysts, they think that it's just about tactics. But if you don't understand those things that you said, if you don't know how they all fit together, how if you improve one thing, something else maybe knocked off a little bit, like then you're not going to be a great analyst, right?
Yeah, that's right. One example is we play against a team that, let's compare positionism and reactionism. We have a team that use positionist game, and we are playing against a team that is reactionist. So we need to understand why our physical data are higher in total distance, in high speed and accelerations, because of their model of play, our opponent's model of play. But if we play against another positionist model, our accelerations and these accelerations will be higher because we need to move more than when we are playing against reactionism. So we need to understand why this physical data showed out these measures, and we need to say to our staff, we need to have some knowledge and explain to him with these data. Oh, this match we played this high speed distance because their mode of play. They just play in transitions. So we need to run. If we lose the ball, we need to run. We need to transit. But if they control more, they have more possession. That's why we have more accelerations, that we have more decelerations, but we do not have a lot of high-speed distance. So just an example, using the physiology, the physical data, and how to link that with videos and tactical behaviors to explain to our staff, to our head coach, what happened that game.
Brilliant. Last question. What did you learn from badminton that can be any use in soccer? What helped you?
Discipline. Yeah. Discipline, resilience. It's like on tennis, because it's the player against. If I play badminton, I'm a badminton player. I'm playing against myself and not playing against my opponents. Because I made a mistake, I need to be my mental instability to don't make any mistake anymore, the same mistake. If I get angry, probably I'll have more mistakes. So in soccer, it's the same. Once the player is so stressed and he's very anxious to conquer our aims, our goals, but if he lose any battle, any duel, if he lost the possession, if he does not can show and develop their skills on the game to help the team, he can be stressful and make more mistakes on the match. So the resilience, know how to live with the pressure, the anxiety, and how to keep their mental strong to be concentrate, to have more attention on the game, and then he can be better to the team.
Fantastic. What a way to finish it. Caique, thank you so much. That was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. I'm really honored to have this chat with you. I hope that all the people loves it. It's a great honor to speak about team analysis at youth in Brazil. So thank you so much.